Yeah.
And the State Department told him no.
Fucked up. That's really fucked up. I can't believe they told him no. If a citizen wants to go and try to help refugees, he should be allowed to.
Well, so that's the thing. The Clinton Foundation also was doing the same, but I don't know if they got through or not.
So I recorded a little bit about that thing we talked about yesterday.
Yeah, how'd it come out? Yeah.
I'm not feeling my best today, so like it was a lot of like cuts. But Alan's gonna see if he can like video edit better than me to piece it together. But what I ended up doing was like, hey, welcome, and then first topic update, a little synopsis, and then it cuts to like looking on an article like a lot of other people do. Like I know Tim Cass does that, the Quartering Phil does that. So it was okay. It wasn't bad. But I think when I feel better, I'll give it another shot. One-liners, by the way. Alan, I think it was Ethan, you, me, and then Keelan, right?
Spells Eon.
Yeah, I'm number one.
Or Ing.
I'm number one.
That's why we don't let him go first.
Oh, you're right.
I was gonna say I forgot to mention it yesterday, but also when we get a chance, while everyone's doing their little recording, we need to start looking at cue cards for YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
hey, if you enjoyed that video, don't forget to like and share.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you want to hear more from us, touch that little bell notification. You'll get more of us.
Yeah, because if we just set them up, like, you know, we can record them and set them up, and then YouTube has your card cuts, so pretty easy to do it.
I need to look at how Phil and other YouTubers split their video into segments. You can like jump back and forth between segments.
I think it's just like a time stamp, right? Like,
Yeah,
How do you-
it goes back to like the cut cards, right? So when you're editing or when you're setting up the video, you can put cut cards in so that it cuts to your little pre-recorded scene, or you can put links to other videos.
Badass. Hey, Judge Judy Slayer, thank you for that follow.
Wait, is your
Judge
name Judge
Judy
Judy
Slayer.
Slayer because you're gonna hurt Judge Judy, or you're gonna slay that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you gonna slay Judge Judy, or are you gonna hurt her?
Wow.
But thanks for that follow, dude. Welcome in.
Another one.
so loud.
Is it loud? My bad.
Maybe I just have to turn you down.
Probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. But I know I haven't shared it with like everyone, but I've been like busy 3D printing over the weekend. Ethan knows.
I know. I'm so ready.
Yeah. I printed the Hylian shield for Edos to put his game cards in. It looks fucking awesome in person. Oh, and I printed that for Norma. So she can put all the
we got
cricket tools.
people in the chat saying 3D print the figurines.
What's up, Anna Wise? Hey, Anna Wise, you followed yesterday. Thank you for that follow.
I can't wait to have a figurine painting party, and we
Oh,
can bring Keelan's punch in.
Oh yeah.
So we needed to make a little bit of room in the freezer.
Yeah, our
Tonight?
deep freeze stopped working today.
Oh
No.
no.
Thankfully, he caught it before like it got too far. So I needed to make a little bit of room. And I had some of those frozen juices. And so we pulled out the pineapple one and I made it up. And we had to get some of the alcohol bottles out of the freezer. So I was like, oh, if I'm making pineapple juice, I'll just go ahead and put some vodka in it. Save myself the hassle.
Wow.
And it's not bad.
Yeah,
It's like meal prepping, but it's drink prepping.
exactly.
Nice.
She meal prepped for the whole week.
Hey, Anna Wise, was that a strawberry kitty? Because she's awesome.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, you're Kitty. Oh, just kidding.
I don't think you didn't realize who Anna Wise is. Anna Wise and Mr. Anna Wise taught us how to play Catan.
Oh, fuck, you're right. I didn't realize that. What's up,
Ryzen,
Anna Wise?
what up,
Ryzen!
Ryzen!
Ethan, the only thing I need to figure out is how to get your character's name to come at the bottom.
Oh, let me see. How's it look?
It's not there.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the rest of the guy.
Oh yeah, he looks fucking great. This is the second print. This is after like an
It
hour.
looks so good.
Yeah, and you can already tell the details at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I still have issues with the shield, but I'm working on it. And I did a lot of fine tuning over the weekend, especially with the shield that I printed for the kiddo, the Hylian shield. It's all coming along nicely.
Ryzen, we really missed you. I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, Ryzen. Oh, you guys ready to start?
Yeah, I don't know if they're getting any effects from the hurricane. I know it hit us, but they're still in the Gulf.
Yeah. Oh, Ryzen's our producer for this week. He says he's ready. Are you guys ready?
Aye, Captain.
All right, let me get music ready.
Like, I could totally see Ryzen captaining like a pirate ship.
Yeah,
Captain Ryzen, where we going?
Captain Ryzen.
Captain Ryzen. Oh. Captain Ryzen on the horizon. Put it.
Ha ha!
Well, yeah.
The topics we discuss are many,
No story too bold to talk about.
Strictly our own opinions.
But they are opinions from people like you.
Welcome to the NAKE'd Podcast.
Welcome in, everybody. I got drinks. They made me put clothes on. It's your boy, Ethan.
Hey NJ, if you were a keyboard, you'd be my type. What's up, guys? It's your DM Tekka Alan.
Wait, did you just hit on her live?
Yeah.
Like
Off the radar.
Mr. Brisket himself. It's funny. Hey guys, it's NJ. The Rona got me. I'm doing my best today.
Fables, you're right. There would be naked people.
Excuse you wearing robes. Hi, Fables. Hey, guys. It's Keelan. That was my one-liner.
You totally ad-libbed that. How are you guys doing?
Otherwise,
this
it was
week?
going to be congratulate me on finishing dinner before the podcast. Woohoo!
Woo!
Yeah,
That is
she finished
quite the feat.
cooking dinner before the podcast. Woo!
Damn.
No,
Nice.
I just shoved my
That's a
face.
Hey,
I don't know
Fables.
how you did that. Like
Hey.
every bite I take burns my mouth like lava.
You gotta do the. Well, you
Yeah. And then also like inhale at the same time you're exhaling.
like a dragon.
What's up, Ryan? Fables! What's up, bro? How you doing? You don't look too lost. Hey.
Right.
Mr. Anna Weiss.
I was gonna say Fables looks found.
Yeah. It's time to change that
Hey.
username to Found Fables. After you tell us your original username, of course.
Fables. We have a rule on the Naked Podcast is that we have to be wearing pants. Other clothes are optional, but if you're wearing pants, it just kind of seems weird to not be wearing anything else.
Yeah. Like I'm not wearing socks. Fuck socks.
Ooh, burn.
Hey, I can say, even though I got my ass handed to us, that was a pretty competitive session of Mario Kart.
Right? If I hadn't left, I would have won that.
Yeah,
It's
right. Then it's company policy.
Yeah.
Be
Pants are
pants.
required.
It can be shorts, or if you're wearing a long dress, but you have to wear some sort of bottom.
Yeah,
Next seat.
who
right
won
there.
the last game when after I left Wednesday?
I did. There's the
So
old
you
policy.
stopped sandbagging, and
Nah, I kept
I
sandbagging.
told I told Keelan that I was like, after I went, because she was already asleep after we got, like, when I left, she was already knocked out, like dead asleep. I went there and she goes, "How was it?" I was like, "Well, Alan let us compete with him, so that's pretty nice."
I mean, after so long, you want to make a little ruckus. Although I do need to teach you the ways.
You know who else made a little ruckus today?
Who made a little ruckus today?
Ida.
Hurricane Ida is now a tropical storm, but yeah,
Like that
Ida,
transition?
it was perfect. Hurricane Ida made landfall yesterday around noon, and I thought it was pretty interesting that it was literally 16 years from the day that Katrina hit. It hit as a category 4, and then it moved into like a category 2, but still like winds pretty substantial. So like 150 miles per hour to 105 miles per hour. Of course, it's going to rip off like rooftops. And, right now, 1 million people are without power in Louisiana, and they're not sure when power would be restored. There's been at least 3 deaths so far. But yeah, after Katrina and Rita, the federal government created this like road home program. It cost like $14.5 billion on the infrastructure to reinforce the levees.
Mhm.
The levees pretty much held up, but some barges east of like NOLA actually broke loose and like floated downstream. So there's like people like in their attics or on roofs, like just waiting for rescue help. But something kind of like funny that I saw, I don't know if you guys saw it, but before the hurricane hit, there was like a bunch of jokes that Waffle House announced like a couple of closings, and they're like, "Oh shit, if Waffle House is closing, that's like serious. We all gotta
We were
evacuate."
told that. So we vacationed in New Orleans like 2 years ago, and that was one of the things they told us. They go, "We judge the weather by Waffle House."
Yeah, I was wondering when you were going to mention Waffle House, NJ.
Yeah, apparently, and then also like that 14.5 billion went into like these pumps, like these like awesome pumps that can pump water out of the city. So yeah, not as much devastation as before, but still pretty substantial. I mean, they really built these to outlast a 100-year storm, but who's to say? I mean, these hurricanes are getting stronger.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. We already got calls about it today or yesterday. So
I'll be right back, guys. Give me a few.
them looking
say
for.
My online school, they went ahead and closed down the campus today, but I think they're reopening back up tomorrow.
It
Oh,
moved
are they
through
basically
pretty
saying?
quick. I mean, like even us, we got our downpour for about 30 minutes today, and that was it.
Yeah. It rained yesterday too. It was really nice. But at least it wasn't like hurricane.
I think it's beautiful that we've actually developed a lot better system, and so even now they're like, "Oh, a category 4 is coming." They're like, Psh, eh. Like
Yeah.
we went through a category 5. Who cares at this point, right?
I saw this other TikTok of this girl. She lives like right behind a levee, and she's like, "You better fucking hold the door." So I'm glad that those at least worked. But I mean, can you imagine like being out of power for like who knows how long? Not to mention like the devastation of like all the flooding and stuff. And like most of those communities were just like rebuilt. Like it's taken so long to rebuild them and for them to become what they are now, only to be washed away again. So definitely figure it out. Raisin
I like how you even
band.
got the ding in. Ding.
Hold on. I'm giving the kid his medicine.
Don't
My
make
bad,
me
guys.
bonk you.
There you go. There's that ding.
Wow.
When you bonk, go to jail. Up to 6 weeks for power to be back online. Wow.
6 weeks. Can you imagine?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
In the mid.
What I heard come through the pipeline is that pretty much the city of New Orleans is like 100% without power. So they're calling up every generator within 1,000 miles.
So what's the plan there? Like, are they just gonna put these people in like a communal spot like the Superdome, or so
they'll find a convention center or something big that they can power up and house people in.
Will
It's
we
pretty-
get
I want
some refugees, maybe?
Not from what I heard. There's no plans for anything here. Like even after the last big one, Harvey, we were helping set up some temporary structures, but they have no plans for anything right now. Pretty much, they're just looking for generator power. That's all they need.
Oh.
So evidently, the rain subsided pretty quickly. Like you said, it was already a tropical storm pretty much when it hit. So it hit real hard and then just dissipated real fast.
Yeah, it's a category 4 last when it hit, and then last night it was like a cat 2, and then this morning they downgraded it to a tropical storm. So like like it hit hard, and then it just like dispersed, and that's pretty good because I think Katrina went up, hit, came back out, hit again.
Yeah.
So luckily it wasn't like that again.
Yeah, and that's huge. What I mean, just it dispersing saved everything. But also, what does that say about the upcoming hurricane season? Like we're starting off at a category 4.
Yeah.
Usually we start off with a couple depressions or something,
Well, this is Ida, so we've had a handful before then, before we got to Ida, so maybe that's promising.
Yeah. Hey,
Did they start
Ryzen.
off with like an A?
Yeah, they have a list of names that they go through. Like certain names get retired, like Alan and Andrew. I think they retired Harvey, right? No, I don't think Harvey was strong enough.
Yeah, they pretty much retire any big one. I don't think there's ever going to be another Katrina.
Yeah.
Or Sandy.
Also, Ryzen, that is sexual harassment. Staring at my ass as I get up to make sure I'm following company guidlines. I literally have it written.
Hilarious is when they run out of Anglo-Saxon names and start branching out.
Right.
Hurricane
They had a Hurricane Dolores, which is my mom's name, and I made fun of her for it. And I was like,
Dolores in Florida too, right?
I think so. Speaking of distraction.
Oh, are we distracted?
Or no, I said distraction.
Oh.
Who's distracted? What?
Squirrel.
I think that was your segue, Peach.
Oh. So let's talk about Apple for a second. So
there you go. I got you.
We all know what's going on with Apple, right? The lawsuits the antitrust lawsuit that they received by Epic against them for billing. The one that tweets its arrival, "Ew, Ryzen.
I'm the best hurricane ever."
We're gonna wreck the South.
Are you saying that in Alexis's voice? Ew,
What?
David.
Ew, David.
Exactly. Ill David. Ill Ryzen.
Ew, Ryzen.
Oh, I'm
and
going to cause more devastation in the Caribbean than any other hurricane in existence. Like, no duh.
It's a lively little raindrop. So, as we know, there was the antitrust lawsuit against Apple from Epic, saying that it really limits how they can charge, and that the Apple environment, Phone OS, I guess, what it's called now, and iPad OS, whatever it's called, just iOS in general. We're sticking with the old nomenclature. Epic stated that it was a monopoly, which I kind of agree with. You really have no other way to pay. Well, after that happened, over 200 developers got together to file a class action lawsuit against Apple to follow up the antitrust lawsuit, and Apple actually decided to back down for once. Now, I did do some research on some of the numbers. Apple didn't disclose anything, of course. They're trying to handle this behind closed doors, kind of the same way Disney does. But I'm gonna kind of rap about it real quickly for y'all. Not actually rap, but
I'll drop a beat.
all right, give me a beat. I don't know how to rap. I didn't come here for this crap.
Hey.
Hey.
Yo, that's spitting bars, yo.
That's a banger. Do they still say banger? No, it's a bop now.
The Hoot Nanny. Anyway.
It's all that in a bag of chips.
How old we are.
Oh my god, that's bitchin'.
No cap.
As if.
So, Apple decided to go ahead before we even hear from the judge about the antitrust lawsuit, about them changing the way they charge. They're now in the process of allowing for third-party billing options, but they will give you, got the kiddo in the back. They will give you the option to either use Apple with their lower than percentage prices, or you can use their third party. And they're already revamping how much of a percentage that they're pulling from the developers for everything. Take a shower. What do you guys think about this sudden change?
I think it's Apple trying to save their ass, and before the judge rules, they're like, oh, we're just gonna settle this right now, and because it's maybe not gonna go in their favor.
Yeah.
So my question was, do you think any of this has to do with the new Apple crypto wallet that they want to do?
See, I thought about that.
If they want to start a crypto wallet, which them, Square, all the big Silicon Valley tech firms, right? They're just starting getting into the crypto wallets. But in order to do that, they have to open up and accept more coins. They have to change their business model in order to do that.
Well, Apple would already be able to do that because they have their established bank. They have their own credit card services. It's I wouldn't be surprised if they start to lean towards that direction. Bitcoin's already becoming a lot more accessible for multiple people, especially as a form of payment. I mean, look at Tesla. They've been accepting Bitcoin on and off.
Well, I mean, not just that. You have a lot of big time DeFi players stepping up to the plate, and so these big companies like Apple and Square, they're scrambling right now, right? I mean, we've all kind of watched what's going on with Bitcoin right now, and everybody's saying it mirrors 2017. So if that is true, then by this time next year, people are going to try to buy things at Apple with crypto. That's just the path we're on.
It'd be fucking badass if I can just go and drop a couple hundred Dogecoin and be like, hey, that Apple Pen I want.
I can finally get rid of the Doge.
Yeah, I can finally drop all this fucking Dogecoin.
I have a question, how that would work logistically, in a retail environment. So, let's say cryptocurrency becomes the new norm to use, right? How would refunds happen? So, you spent 0.00001 Bitcoin, Like, how does that work?
So it comes into what they call smart contracts,
Yeah.
and it's really hard to get into on the top. But what's going to happen is you have networks like Flexa. It's called the Flexa network, and so they function like PayPal right now, right? So how you can use PayPal to buy and get returns. That's what
Mhm.
Flexa they use, and they have their own crypto, like the whole DeFi, the decentralized financial system is what they're building.
Mhm.
So there's ways to do it to get not too into it. It just something like the Flexa network, or there's a few of them like that.
Hey Alexa, do a Flexa.
Right. So
It's a good thing our Alexa's in the kitchen.
there's things like Flexa, and there's a few that, and their goal is to replace Mastercard, right?
Mhm.
Because
I mean, MasterCard's been around since you were young.
Mastercard? Yeah, well, Mastercard's always been around, but like Mastercard for us, what is it truly, right? It's a bank,
Mhm.
in essence. So it's just a different style of banking.
Hey, analyze, it is totally possible for you to own a Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. You can buy portions of it.
But that's if Bitcoin's your chosen store of value. So
Yeah.
right now, there's at least 4 major networks that you can choose to store your value in. And, Solana, Cardano, Polygon, Ethereum, those are all still where if you want, you could go buy a couple of Solano today if you wanted.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, we are not financial experts and assume no responsibility over decisions that you make.
I knew you were talking about NOIs.
Oh,
Talking about an Alexa.
I got a Google right
That
here.
sounds like a story time.
Yeah.
But no, like things like Apple stepping into this area is, I don't know, it does show major corporations not just suing you until you stop suing them. You know? 'Cause
Plus,
it's like Disney's strategy, right? Litigated away forever.
Beards! What's up, bro? Sorry, that was a little loud. And I totally agree. What's up?
Okay, your mom's name's
Yeah,
Alexa.
it's a short
We-
story. Her mom's name's Alexa, so they got an
So
Alexa.
funny.
Hey,
Right,
Ma.
and the funny thing is, did you ever hear about the guy that bought a pizza with Bitcoin?
You bought a pizza with
Shut
Bitcoin?
up.
No fucking way.
Yeah,
How?
so in 2014 or so, when Bitcoin was like $5 or something, right? No, it was in cents because the guy paid like 10,000 Bitcoin for a pizza.
Oh my god.
And yeah, that guy would be a billionaire right now if he hadn't done that.
Sorry, Analyze. I'll try to
$1
back
billion
up more.
pizza.
Fucking.
That's funny.
So,
Beards,
Ryzen,
we're
that's a
talking about.
horrible idea. Never use Bitcoin to buy an asset because then you just made that Bitcoin worth that asset.
Mm-hmm. What were you saying, NJ?
Oh, I was just going to catch Beards up there. We're talking about the Apple versus Epic lawsuit and how Apple is deciding to use third-party peeps.
I think the biggest change, the biggest thing that really brought an impact to Apple is, I mean, for one, Tim Cook is leaving the company, and he's already announced that he wants to introduce one new category to the Apple line. So we don't know what that is. The card is already established, so I don't. Yeah, Apple Card is established, and Apple Credit Services.
Apple Car.
A car.
The
That'd be
electric vehicle.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever happened to that?
I mean, they've been talking about it for years now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like Apple to put something in development for years and then it never gets released. Look at the operating system that Jobs worked on for the longest time called Melissa. And $15,000 operating system, it was never released. But
So,
Why was it called Melissa?
Puzzle
was after-
didn't get a cat. Sylvie got a puzzled.
it was called Melissa because at the time he already had his daughter whose name was Melissa, but he refused to acknowledge her existence and he continued to say that it wasn't his daughter, and to kind of prove that wasn't his daughter,
So
he
tried
decided
to build a daughter AI.
Yeah. Well, no, an operating system, but close enough. I think the biggest thing that really like shows Apple that they need to change is 200 developers suing them in a class action lawsuit, and they're already coming to closing on that class action lawsuit, depending on how much you've made in Apple Store in the Apple Store. Apple doesn't want for the lawyers to just take a lump sum and distribute it equally. Apple's decided they'll give you a percentage back based off of you've made $100,000 in the Apple Store, and if you've made over $1 million, you'll get a bigger percentage back of your total
Right,
fees. I think
and-
it's like 15 or 20%.
Right, and I would be homeless, living in the woods.
I would recommend Google because it looks like a really fun place to work. They have like nap pods.
Honestly, I don't want to be on either end of anyone's anger, and both Google and Apple have a tendency to have upper management have really big anger egos. So neither.
I'll do my own company.
And
With
OGB,
blackjack and hookers.
That's
yeah,
what Crazy said.
Yeah.
Okay, Bender.
forget the whole thing. And Beards, I'm not a big fan of Apple either. I used to be like a hardcore fanboy until the
Apple
innovation
died-
just stopped coming.
Yeah, it died with Steve Jobs, in my opinion. Like after that, nobody had a drive to lead the industry, right? Like that was how Apple became so big, is they led the industry, and then I felt like somewhere around the Samsung Galaxy 7, Samsung took over as leading the industry in innovation.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. And even Apple's stance on your privacy doesn't really mean shit anymore, because they just recently received $15 billion from Google to make Google the primary search engine for their browser Safari.
So, side note, did y'all hear about how Google and Apple have both been contacted to hand over all information they have on certain American citizens
Yeah,
from
Apple said fuck you.
last year of May of last year to February of this year?
Apple has a hard fuck you stance. They've said no to the FBI before about mass shooters.
Oh no, it's the Congress. They're gonna turn, or from what I heard,
Ooh.
they're planning to turn it all over. Like they're putting it together.
Really? That's a first. I would have figured Apple would have had to have had some litigation before they released any information.
They get subpoenaed by Congress.
Can you imagine, like, you guys remember the Zuckerberg like interviews, right, with Congress during like the whole antitrust stuff? Like, can you imagine, like, as part of official millennials, like, yes, you've been summoned here against, for Congress, and you need to answer about all this stuff, and you're like, I don't know,
you
guy, I just
really
work here.
want to?
I don't know, guy, I just work here. Like, that sucks.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think it is for the January 6th events that happen. Is that right? Crazy.
Yeah, for the mostly peaceful protest on January 6th.
There was a peaceful protest.
Oh, you mean the insurrection?
Well, so the FBI so right now I think FBI classified it as a riot, no longer as an insurrection, because there was no plan and no leadership. So they couldn't say that it was somebody trying to take over the government. It's really weird. But the FBI just put out a big report.
We
The
just wanted to
Supreme
scare
Court-
them a little.
The Supreme Court actually just came out with some other stuff too recently, right? Crazy.
Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit on the show before, the eviction moratorium. And I know we all had So we've talked about it a little before, and we feel bad for people getting kicked out of their house, but what do we do at this point, right? So the Supreme Court original ruling was that no the executive branch of government cannot just take houses away from landowners.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, in order to continue to do this, we have to have the Congress pass litigation that actually states you can't charge rent for this reason, and most likely people would have to get paid. The landowners would get paid back rent from the government. So, needless to say, it didn't get through Congress in time, right? So, knowing that it was illegal, the executive branch tried to re-up the eviction moratorium, and for the second time, the Supreme Court has struck it down. So, as of, I believe, tomorrow, people can start filing eviction notices.
Oh fuck!
So everybody has 1 month to get out of the houses.
Didn't like part of the stimmy packages, didn't that cover like some help to help people pay back like their back rent?
It went to states, and the states issued it out, and most of the people that got it, there was no stipulation for what it was for. So they could have got the money for rent, but they could have used it on food or houses or cars, power, a lot of other stuff that costs money when you don't have a job.
No.
So the
really
question
scary.
is, what are they gonna do? So first off, do we pursue the crime that we know was intentionally made, even though it was in good intentions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think everyone's just kind of like, whatever. Nobody really cares about that. But the question is, if they try to re-implement it again, if they do it what they did again, then I think we got to take the gloves off, and they are intentionally doing illegal acts.
So like thinking long term. So like maybe constitution, like legally this was illegal. But what about these people that are about to be out of their homes? Like, is that going to be just more strain on federal and state resources while these people apply for aid, if they even get it? What does it look like for housing? Especially like assisted housing. So like I'm just interested to see, like, not, I wouldn't say interested, but like I'm scared to see the outcome of it. But at the same time, like, we're treating the symptom and not the actual source of the issue. But like, what's the answer there? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So the question is, what do you think the actual issue is, right? Because that's the other big item that nobody agrees. So you have one half of people saying that technically the government caused this, right? So the government needs to fix it. And the other side is just like, well, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and let the fever run its course.
Mm-hmm. I think the real issue is, yeah, I like NJ was gonna say, I can't imagine exactly how this is gonna go, but like, I think the real issue is that one, people aren't going back to work because they're not getting paid enough. How do you fix that? By raising minimum wage, but no one wants to raise minimum wage.
So that's the issue we're running into, right? Like this exact moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can literally go outside my neighborhood and there's a sign that says hiring bonus $300. The minimum wage isn't an issue, right? Because right now we have a federally prorated minimum wage at $16 an hour right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you sit at home on unemployment right now, you're making $16 an hour, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the average that's averaging out.
Mm-hmm.
So people are getting the money right now and they're just choosing not to pay their rent. Some people, not everybody. But so as like right now, I mean, a lot of companies are having to start at 15. But if you start somebody at 15 right now, then they're saying tomorrow, well, I need 20. It's just like, it's a never-ending problem if we just keep like artificially increasing the wages. And that's kind of what we're suffering with the labor shortage right now.
Yeah.
And it's
And
just kind of hoping that the inflation that's hit everything over the last few years, the last 10 years, how everything has just exploded in price. Maybe they'll realize, oh, we were just being greedy. We really need to lower those prices down. The
Well, see-
housing market, education.
Well, that's a scary thing. That comes back to the housing market, right? So the housing market's turning into a bubble.
Mhm.
And the longer we don't do anything about it, like a blister, it's growing. So just lance it at this point. It's like, yeah, you feel bad that people get kicked out of their house, but like we talked about last time, if what's worse, the bank foreclosing on the landowner and the bank taking the house and the person getting evicted anyway, and an American losing a source of income, so we're just driving into deeper economic problems,
Mhm.
or you evict somebody and they might be able to get an apartment tomorrow.
Here's an easy
yeah.
solution: tax the super fucking rich, like the 4 people who own the most amount of equity in the states, and there's 4 people.
But that comes back to the other issue. So you're talking about the capital gains tax, right? So capital gains tax, so somebody like Jeff Bezos, you would have to
Mhm.
put a capital gains tax, right?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't make $1 billion a year. As a person, he might only pocket 10 million, but his stock makes his net worth go up. So you want to tax his stock, which then in turn you're taxing unrealized gains of that stock. So how
Gosh,
do
what
you
a
get around that?
conundrum.
Yeah,
What a conundrum.
He's playing the system. At some point,
so-
he has to
but
pull
then
all his money
again-
out of that stock.
No, he can't. So if you said I'm going to tax Jeff Bezos 10%, right? And they're talking 70%. So he would have to liquidate 70% of Amazon stock overnight. Do you know what that would do to Amazon's stock price? That would tank.
Yeah.
So then everybody that owns Amazon stock would go from $1,000 a share down to $150 a share. So
Mhm.
that's not making anything better.
I'm
That's
real
true.
glad I'm not in charge of these decisions. Like,
Economics hard.
but how do you vote for this? How do you okay, so I see one side, but I see this side, and I just want to be on the human side, right? I want to help people, but I also don't want to fuck over these all these landlords basically.
I bet you
Yeah,
anything.
you're talking.
Go ahead.
Sorry, what are you saying now?
I was gonna add something, but go ahead. I can finish my thought process afterwards.
We can all agree that small business owners have had a hard year. And so now what it looks like for other small business owners is that now the government finished with retail small business. Now they're targeting housing small business. And it's just like they're systematically targeting and killing industries.
Well, I mean, okay. So what I was gonna say before, I bet you anything, if everyone in Congress who's a public servant made minimum wage, we wouldn't be having this problem of
I don't think minimum
average
wage, but
equity.
at least the median of an average American. Was it 35, 37 now?
And
Yeah.
not
So
giving
that's
themselves
the question.
possession
How do you naturally lift wages, not artificially? Because that's since 2008 when we had the financial crash. Is like everything we've done is a artificial boost, right? Like the housing stimulus, because I benefit from it, right?
Mhm.
There's the Clash for Clunkers. That was a
Mhm.
stimulus to get money in. It was just like our issues. We've never had a natural wage growth, and to do that, you need to innovate. You need something new, and you need companies like Apple. So instead of taxing Apple into oblivion, why don't we increase Apple's incentives to build a better plant here to start making microchips here?
Well, how can you when there are companies like Amazon who don't give a fuck about where they're pulling things from and just pull pull the lowest bidder for maximum profits.
But who else is to blame but the consumers, right? Like I think we need to take full responsibility for everything Amazon is. Like
But
Amazon wouldn't be what it is
oh no,
if
not
we didn't have that need,
oh sorry.
right? For cheap goods.
Did I accidentally say Amazon? I meant Walmart.
Oh,
But Amazon too. But the bigger problem is how can you be mad at the consumers when they don't have that much equity to splurge on like smaller businesses who are local because they either make minimum wage or below minimum wage.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a giant death spiral, right? Like
Yeah.
that's our whole issue. But again, I mean I've made better attempts to shop locally, right? Like
Yeah.
if we say we want to go to your house for beer, where do we go? The corner store. That's small business.
Mhm.
Like
I
we
do the same thing.
try, and that's all. I think that's all you can do is just everybody needs to try a little better.
Yeah, like
So
like for
so
my
you don't
instrument
get
stuff.
overnight shipping from Amazon, and you have to go to Walmart tomorrow, or you got to go somewhere in person tomorrow. It's like
Pants.
Pants.
yeah.
Yeah. or like all my music and my music equipment, like I've been buying from this local shop here, and I've been buying the polish, I've been buying the cleaners, I've been buying the strings from them just to be able to redirect the funds that I would throw at Guitar Center or Sam Ash to like a smaller business.
Yeah, it's just we've gotten to the point where we're not making anything, right? Like we're not producing wealth, and that I think that's more of an issue than taxation.
Yeah.
I think if we're gonna do anything, we need to start encouraging people to start building wealth in a way.
And analyze, I don't think the consumers should take responsibility for decades of corporate greed. I think the consumers should throw that corporate greed back at them. And start buying
It's a
locally
simple-
instead of them.
Corporate greed
Yeah.
comes from the corporates telling you, hey, you need 2-day shipping. Hey, you need this. And it gets so bombarded at us that we start to turn our mindsets. It's, oh, I do need that. Oh, I do want that. And so it's another endless cycle.
Yeah,
We don't really need that.
It's one of those
It's
things
like a
that-
matter of convenience.
Mhm.
If you really have an issue with major corporations, stop supporting them. That's the step one, right? Because the rule of consumer economics is that if there's a demand, there will be a supply. Just same. Look at illegal drugs. If there's a demand, there will be a supply. So if there is an evil corporation giving you cheap goods, well, that's because there was a demand for it, and they found the supply, which is slave labor in other countries.
Child labor. Oh yeah. For our friends in red, it is slave labor.
What?
Friends in red. The Muslims.
I feel like I agree with Analyze, like on a sense. Like there are a select few Americans that have such a large, like even if it's just like their assets, right? And like how much they truly make is significantly less than that. But it's a hell of a lot more than your average American is making too. So like where can we find that fine line? I don't know. I'm not a political science major. I'm not a politician. I'm not an accountant. Like, I don't know. Like, what is the answer? And is it?
I think it's
is it?
So Max Kaiser said one thing, and he said the American economy is going to crash, and it's going to be millennials or who are going to have to build it back.
Oh
And
shit.
if millennials build something, they're going to want to build it on a Bitcoin standard. Simple as that. They understand it. They get it.
Yeah.
We're tired of being traumatized, man.
Like
It's just been so much. Like we've gone through a lot. We're going through a pandemic. We're going through another housing crisis. We're going through all this shit again, and all these fucking dinosaurs that are up there in Congress right now aren't doing shit except passing to get themselves raises. Like, I don't think that's right. And then you have Playboy billionaires fucking having a piss contest of who can get to space first. Like, it's exciting, but it's also disgusting that they have that much wealth.
I think I'll take, a 15-minute trip up into space and then float my ass back down. Like, okay, that must be nice.
We did it.
Yeah, we made it to not space anymore.
I think it's funny they changed. But again, I mean, so even if you don't like what Elon or Jeff Bezos did, they are building an industry and they're funding an industry in the United States. So like even for its worst aspects, they're still putting money back into the US economy, like to US citizens. They're paying those wages. Like SpaceX, you don't have to have a degree to work there.
Yeah.
You have to be able to complete the job. They do like job evaluations. So first off, you have to know somebody to know somebody. And they're like, yeah, that guy can turn wrenches like nobody else. They bring you in. If you do the job, you get it. Like they don't hire off degrees. Elon Musk doesn't believe in degree hiring.
Good for
Yeah, that's the thing I think that definitely needs to change. Like in any job hunt, like a lot of people are just like, oh, you have to have, X amount of experience in the industry and a master's degree. And if you don't have those qualifications, you don't even get a call back. It's like, why? Like if I have 10 years experience in the industry and no degree, I still have that experience in the industry. It didn't come from a classroom. It came from like on the job. So
And
I think that's a
person
pretty
over
good thing.
degree any day.
I remember when
Yeah.
Apple announced their new programming language for their devices, and immediately developers were looking for people with like 5+ years experience in that language. But it was literally months old.
So there is that. I have that meme on my phone. I'll have to send it to you. But in the meme that I saw, the guy's like, so this job I applied for asked for 5 years of experience with this one coding, but I wrote the code 2 years ago. He was the person that wrote and developed the code, but in order for him to work on it, he had to have 5 years of experience. I was like,
and that's some
What?
other bullshit, man.
Just the cycle is they want us to get these degrees. These degrees cost hella money. So by the time you actually have the degree, you don't have experience. And then you're thousands of or hundreds of dollars in debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And then you're broke. And you're so busy paying back your $70,000 loan that by the time you pay the $70,000 loan, you still owe $80,000.
Honestly,
Not
we
to
should just get rid
mention
of student
you
debt.
can't get it. Not to mention the, actually finding a job in your field that will take you as a college grad and with no life or work experience.
Oh, you have a master's in this field? That's great. You should come intern with us.
No.
At minimum wage.
so
And
y'all
you're
make me so
excited.
glad I didn't go to college.
Maybe we all should pick a trade. I'll be a welder.
It's cool.
I'll be your
Like a
resident
medieval
IT guy.
player.
Hey, I know a bunch of IT guys that make way more than me. And just installing fiber, you'll make more than me. But you have to be able to put little glass strands in this little thing like that. Like,
What about putting blood into skateboards?
Ooh.
that's weird.
We're talking about blood boards?
So that is exactly what Tony Hawk is doing right now. He had some blood drawn. They sterilized the blood and then they mixed it into some paint. They put that paint on about 100 skateboards and they're going to sell those skateboards for about $500 a piece.
Damn.
Why? Why?
But this really, it's not a new thing. We've seen this before, not only with the Satan shoes, but back in the 1970s, Kiss did the same thing with a comic
that was
book.
Metallica.
Yeah.
Was it Metallica? My bad.
You said Metallica yesterday.
Let me, resident fact checker. I'm on the job.
Okay, cool. It was one of those. And So I haven't personally seen a lot of hype for it or backlash for it, but I know at the same time, whenever the Satan shoes came out, all we saw was backlash. Um, so this is actually a question because I had sent out a second article that was talking about people were backlashing over the Satan shoes, but was it really over the blood or was it over
Well, I would say the satanic messages.
and that was my question. Was it over the Satan blood or Satan shoes, the fact that it was Satan, or was it the fact that he's different, he's queer,
Look, I have no problem with the Satanists that are in our town or anywhere else in the United States. As a matter of fact, they do more than the community than the Christian and Catholic Church combined. Both organizations. And well, they promote a lot of self-awareness, and a lot of them are agnostic.
I mean, if you go to Christa Santa Rosa, I don't think you're gonna see Christa del Satan Hospital.
Well, they do charge a fuck
'cause
ton
it's
of
not
money just for like anything. And to fact check Keelan, it was Kiss, it was a Metallica, and it was a collaboration 1977 with Marvel Comics.
They
So they put the
donated
blood on the comic?
They donated their blood and mixed it in with the ink that made the comic.
Why do people want to do this? And why would you want? Okay, like I'm not
Make
one
a
of these
Hulk
consumers, so like I can make a Hulk I just think it's weird. I mean, good for them though. Like, for Tony Hawk to do that, I would think like skateboarders, like they probably lose a lot of blood, like with their falls and stuff. So I guess I can kind of see that, but it is a weird concept to me. Like, I wouldn't be one to buy it, but I mean,
I own Tony Hawk's blood.
Wow.
That's my thing. If I'm gonna get something that has like my favorite celebrity's blood mixed into it, I think I would rather go with the shoes than either the comic or the skateboard, because you can touch the stuff that the blood was mixed in with in those, whereas with the shoes it was just kind of on the side in a little bubble where you could see it. I don't know. That's just me.
yeah, I mean,
I could see that.
I would take an autograph. Yeah, I think
know,
it's
but at least with
weird.
Tony Hawk, they actually showed him right there getting the blood coming out of him right into the paint. Like watching it, it was like, oh wow, this is different.
No. They sanitized the blood before they put it into the paint.
Oh well, they actually showed him like, why would they need to sanitize the blood? That seems a little weird. I mean, it's just gonna dry anyway.
I don't know.
So
I'm not a blood scientist.
COVID Omega strain comes from Tony Hawk's blood, and it's going to be spread around the world as soon as these boards go out.
I hope not.
Analyze asks, if y'all could pick one celebrity to have their blood, how would it be? If I had, like, gun to my head, had to.
Ooh.
You know what? I think it would be Jensen Ackles in the form of, like, something supernatural-esque. Like a dagger or something.
Mine.
David Tennant with his blood in his sonic screwdriver.
God damn it! You took my idea.
There's only one answer for us, and it's not stream appropriate.
Oh, whoa! Ew, David.
Ew, David.
Wow.
Trying to eat type at the same time. Sounds good, Anna.
Pretty much, that's what I'm talking about.
See, I was gonna go with David Tennant in the screwdriver, but if not that one, I would say Robert Downey Jr. and the first miniaturized arc reactor.
Deb's blood. Yeah.
Dirger. Yeah.
The Darger, yes. That's a good one, Ryzen.
I've never been able to watch that entire movie through. I always fall asleep. It's my sleepy movie.
Wait,
if I want to sleep, put that movie.
We're gonna watch
The Curse of the Black Pearl or the second one?
I saw Dead Man's Chest when he has the jar of dirt.
Yeah.
Any of them. Like,
Aw.
I maybe I fell asleep and I woke up during another one during a marathon. But yeah, I can't make it through those movies. I don't know why.
Exactly, Analyze. Proof that Tony Stark has a heart.
No.
NJ, we're watching Curse of the Black Pearl tonight.
She's gonna fall asleep as soon as you put it on.
Do you believe in fairy tales? You're in one.
Yeah, he's gonna give me a dose of NyQuil and be like, sleepy time?
No, he's gonna say, "Here's your NyQuil, and it's really Dayquil." Good luck going to sleep.
Oh no.
Hold on, I need a roll for that. It is a.
Because it's a stealth, right?
It's a 3. And I have a -2 to stealth, so it's a 1. My ADHD gives me a -2.
I like that you have that stat already figured out.
Why,
My
Thank you.
halfling for Crazy's campaign, she's based off of me.
I can see it. I can see it. I'm excited to play more. Crazy, when are we playing again?
I don't know. Eventually, probably October. Right now, just like every Saturday in September is booked for me right now.
what about this Wednesday? What are we doing this Wednesday? Crazy?
That's a quick change of subject.
Minecraft. The answer is Minecraft.
We're playing a little Minecraft on the server with all you wonderful people.
It's true.
We might get NJ on this week. I don't know. We'll try. She's a holdout, but
She just.
you know how we do. So, one thing, if you do log into the server, you have to go pray to me.
No, you don't. You don't
My
have to
golden
do that.
FUG is erected in the middle of the server.
Oh, God, did you build a penis?
You know that there's a whole commandment about that, you know?
It's in a digital world, okay? And I'm not worshiping false idols.
You know,
Bro,
I haven't
don't care.
visited y'all's base in a while. How does it look like now?
I haven't been on the base in a while. I've been on Diamond Island for a while.
Oh shit, have you?
So yeah, I finished the whole island, and in
Okay.
the center of the island, I put a diamond pad, so diamond blocks, and then I built a golden statue of myself.
It's his dick. Okay.
It's like 10 blocks tall.
How many blocks wide is it?
Like 4 or 5.
All about that girth.
And it has a big ass schlong coming off the front.
Oh, god damn
Oh
it,
my
there it is. You know, I haven't.
Fully
So
erect.
Saturday.
So Saturday is our Discord exclusive D&D, which I'm super fucking stoked about because we have
Me
not
too.
played in been a month, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I'm excited.
Heads up, Peach. We were told we have to mod this weekend, so we have to be there.
So what I want to do is I want to multi-stream to the OM channel, but I can barely mod my own chat. So I was wondering if you two lovely gentlemen would love to help.
I'll
She
do it
acts
for
like
a
I
loaf
don't.
of banana
I'm not
bread.
there.
Banana bread.
I just threw away the bananas before I came in here.
Oh man.
I'll do it for a loaf of banana bread.
I made banana bread cookies last time.
I'm gonna
and-
conduct this deal the same way I did when I sold off the universe and the omniverse in Prez's channel. Shout out to Prez and Kitty and everyone else who's still maybe here. I sold Kitty our universe for 1 loaf of banana bread, and I sold someone else the omniverse for 3 loaves of banana bread.
The worst negotiator.
Best.
What about
worst.
some banana chocolate chip cookies?
That sounds good.
How many?
It's a recipe I played with, and it came out very well.
Good.
All I know is that I'm gonna have a fancy wine tasting when our Colorado mead's ready. It's looking beautiful.
I can't wait. You know what? Forget the cookies. I'll do it for the Colorado mead. I have a giant jug that I'm gonna take to you to request like a certain amount.
Well, I only made a gallon, so.
Mine's a gallon. I'm gonna need it all.
But I did get really
Mine.
pretty quart glasses, so everyone will get a quart, hopefully.
Ooh, okay.
Well, the three of us. We'll do it three-way. We'll split it three ways.
Hey.
Maybe next year there'll be four of us on our hike, since Cody lives there now. Shout out to our dancing chef.
So
Yeah. Prez is streaming right now, by the way, for a raid suggestion. I'm not sure. Hey, chat, we have a channel point redemption for, I think it was like 1,000 points, I think, to raid a channel. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, it is 1,000. So if you have a channel suggestion to raid, please drop it in the chat.
I want Beards to spend 1,000 points right now and love us.
here, I have 71,000
Oh,
points. What if I
Beards
spend it?
to remind you of the olden days.
Speaking of Beards tagged me in this photo on Twitter. He found a new tabletop game. And it's called, what is it? Oh, Fireball Island: The Curse of Volcar. And it's like, it looks super cool. It kind of like reminds me of like, I don't know, like Mousetrap. You know how, yeah. There's
Yeah,
one person on.
I want to go and read the rules, and I want to be like, what the flock? I had to.
Hey, that's cool, Ryzen. The first person to pop in a name and 1,000 bit points, it's go time.
Yeah, let's go.
Or
Rising.
We're just gonna awkwardly sit here for another hour.
Yep.
Ready, go.
Also, guys, remember that when we do raid
Gotcha,
another
right now.
channel, to go to the URL if you're on your PC and take off the refer raid at the end of the URL address. That way the channel can get the viewer points and everything else.
I didn't know
That
that.
seems like a lot of work.
Thick Rhino, what up?
It better be thick.
Thick.
They
Oh,
better
thank you,
be
MJ.
picking in a unicorn onesie. Oh,
Less to move.
Does this count? So I've been working on my 3D stuff. I'm currently printing a glue gun base for NJ. Like a little pedestal to put it on and everything. It's gonna be really cool.
It's so
Are you ever gonna try to 3D print your own glasses?
Eventually. I did find a really badass Stormtrooper helmet that I want to print. Here you go, Beers. This is for you.
Whoa.
Power thrust over here.
There you go. You got two. Sorry, Puzzle. I should have warned you.
You got to do it into the camera, though, Alan.
I don't want to do
Don't
it
do it
into
again.
the. No, I'm doing it that way.
Don't do it again. Okay, we're gonna raid now. Bye, guys.
All right, guys.
Don't forget to tip your dancers.
Yeah. Just please tip me. I don't make very much.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
They-
Have a
everybody.
good
Have a good evening.
night.
They pay me in banana nut bread here. It's the worst, guys. Shout out to our producer.
Woo.
Let me just get the